A stark warning has emerged from Tehran following reports of US strikes on Kharg Island, widely considered the crown jewel of Iran's oil export network. A spokesperson for the Khatam al-Anbiya central headquarters, the command structure overseeing Iran's air defense operations, warned that any further attack on Iranian oil infrastructure could trigger sweeping retaliation across the region. Speaking in remarks reported by Al Jazeera, the spokesperson said, "Energy facilities linked to companies with American stakes or cooperation could become targets if escalation continues." If Iran's oil infrastructure is attacked, all the oil and energy infrastructure belonging to oil companies across the region that have American shares or cooperate with the United States will be destroyed and turned into a pile of ashes. The warning was direct and sharply worded. According to the statement from the Khatam al-Anbiya central headquarters, if Iran's oil infrastructure is attacked, oil and energy installations belonging to companies with American involvement across the Gulf could be destroyed and turned into a pile of ashes. The message follows reports that the United States targeted energy-linked sites on Kharg Island, a strategic hub through which a significant share of Iran's oil exports move. The statement signals rising risks for energy infrastructure across the region as tensions surrounding the conflict continue to intensify. A thunderous escalation in the West Asia War. The United States has launched a massive strike on Kharg Island, Iran's most critical oil export hub. Explosions ripped across the island as American forces targeted military infrastructure in what Washington described as a decisive strike. The island, located in the Persian Gulf, handles the overwhelming majority of Iran's crude exports, making it one of the most strategically sensitive energy locations in the region. Reports from the ground say at least 15 explosions were heard across Kharg Island during the bombardment. Thick smoke rose over key installations as the attack focused on multiple military facilities. Among the targets were the island's air defense systems, the Goshen Naval Base, the airport control tower, and a helicopter hangar supporting offshore energy operations. The strike marked one of the most intense attacks on the island since the conflict began. Why Kharg Island? Because it is the economic lifeline of Iran. Nearly 90% of Iran's crude oil exports pass through this narrow stretch of land. By striking military infrastructure there, the United States signaled that it can reach the heart of Iran's energy gateway without immediately targeting the oil terminals themselves. The operation sends a powerful strategic message across the Gulf's energy landscape. According to United States Central Command, the strike was designed to eliminate military threats operating from the island. Shortly after the operation, CENTCOM released footage showing precision strikes hitting facilities across Kharg. The video showed large fireballs, multiple impacts and smoke rising from targeted compounds, highlighting the scale of the operation carried out during the raid. Moments ago, at my direction, the United States Central Command executed one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East, and totally obliterated every military target in Iran's crown jewel, Kharg Island. Our weapons are the most powerful and sophisticated that the world has ever known. But, for reasons of decency, I have chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island. However, should Iran or anyone else do anything to interfere with the free and safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, I will immediately reconsider this decision. During my first term, and currently, I rebuilt our military into the most lethal, powerful, and effective force, by far, anywhere in the world. Iran has no ability to defend anything that we want to attack. There is nothing they can do about it. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, nor will it have the ability to threaten the United States of America, the Middle East, or, for that matter, the world. Iran's military, and all others involved with this terrorist regime, would be wise to lay down their arms and save what's left of their country, which isn't much. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Speaking after the strike, Donald Trump said American forces had totally obliterated every military target on Kharg Island. However, he made it clear that the island's oil infrastructure had not been hit. The warning was unmistakable. If shipping through the Strait of Hormuz continues to be disrupted, Washington could consider striking the oil facilities next. The response from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was swift. Iranian state media reported that the strikes targeted defensive and operational military facilities, but said the island's vital oil infrastructure remained intact. Tehran framed the attack as a dangerous escalation and warned that further strikes on its energy sector would trigger wider retaliation. Iran has now issued a stark warning. If its oil infrastructure becomes a target, facilities across the region linked to the United States could also come under attack. With Kharg Island at the center of Iran's energy exports and tensions rising across the Gulf, the strike has dramatically raised the stakes in a conflict that is now edging closer to the world's most critical oil supply routes.